Get down.
The sound of automatic gunfire and screams of terror after a gunman opened fire at a crowded country music festival on the Las Vegas Strip Sunday night. Police say at least 50 people are dead and more than 200 injured. The death toll as of Monday making it the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history.
Everybody thought it was like fireworks or something at first, and then people just started dropping around us, and everybody tried to stay down, and every time like a group would get up to try to run away, they just start shooting again.
Investigators say the gunman fired down on concert goers from the nearby Mandalay Bay Casino Hotel.
Through investigation and response, we determined there was a shooter on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay. Officers responded to that location and engaged the suspect at that location. He is dead.
The suspect, identified as 62-year-old Stephen Paddock. The Clark County Sheriff saying multiple firearms were found in the hotel room. They are also searching his residence. Las Vegas police earlier released this photo of a woman they say is a person of interest, Mary Lou Danley. They say they believe she may have information about the gunman. They were also hunting for this Hyundai Tucson registered to the shooter. The FBI are assisting in the investigation. Video on social media shows country music singer Jason Aldean in the middle of a song when he's interrupted by gunfire. Aldean took to Instagram soon after, writing, "Tonight has been beyond horrific. My thoughts and prayers go out to everyone involved tonight."
They took too long to take him out, veteran, who alerted the cops to Vegas gunman's exact location, demands to know why it took more than an hour for the hotel room to be raided, as it's revealed officers waited outside for more than 24 minutes. Police received their first report of gunfire at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, in Las Vegas at 10:08 p.m. on Sunday. But it was 72 minutes before SWAT teams burst into Stephen Paddock's room. An officer told dispatch they were armed and ready to enter Paddock's room at 10:55 p.m. but were told to wait until SWAT arrived. After 24 minutes, SWAT teams burst into the shooter's Mandalay Bay room at 11:21 p.m. and found the 64-year-old had shot himself moments earlier. Police have not yet explained why officers were delayed. Chris Bethel, who was in a room just a couple floors below the shooter at the Mandalay Bay, had called the police to alert them to Paddock's location. He is questioning why it took so long for the cops to respond. "It took them too long to get over there, to take him out," said the Iraq veteran. By Hannah Perry for DailyMail.com. Published, 1403 EDT, October 3, 2017. Updated, 1503 EDT, October 3, 2017. An Iraq War veteran who was staying in the same hotel as the Las Vegas gunman is demanding to know why it took more than an hour for the cops to take him down. Police received their first report of gunfire at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, in Las Vegas at 10:08 p.m. on Sunday. But it was another 72 minutes before SWAT teams finally burst into Stephen Paddock's room at the Mandalay Bay to find the suspect had shot himself dead moments earlier. The most concerning issue is there appears to have been an unexplained 24-minute delay, where SWAT teams were armed and ready to go outside Paddock's room, but waited until 11:21 p.m. to enter. Now Chris Bethel, who was in a room just a couple floors below the shooter at the Mandalay Bay, is questioning why it took so long for the cops to stop Paddock, who shot dead 59 and injured 527 in the most deadly mass shooting in American history. "It felt like it took them too long to get over there, to take him out," said Bethel, an Iraq War veteran. "To get him and it's actually eating me up inside. Bethel, of Texas, who was in Vegas for an IT conference, said that he'd been in his room when he suddenly heard gunshots coming from above him at just after 10 p.m. on Sunday. I could just hear the gunshots, continuously. Just full automatic, Bethel told CBS Dallas-Fort Worth. There was explosions going off. It was like a bomb just went off, man. And then there were more gunshots. He says he called the front desk at the Mandalay Bay, the hotel across the street, and the cops to warn them that the shooter was above him, but says no one answered. Seconds are going by, minutes are going by, the rounds are continuously going, he said. Changing weapons, changing calibers, you can hear the difference in the gunshots. As he watched, he saw police responding to the wrong location below. Eventually, he was able to get hold of someone and tell them, he's not over there, he's over here. Terrifying moment, Jason Aldean said, cut short by automatic gunfire. Police have since credited Bethel with helping them locate the shooter. But Bethel says he's been left with the feeling that more lives could have been saved if only someone had picked up the phone sooner. I feel like I didn't do enough, he told CBS News. I feel like I couldn't get a hold of somebody quick enough to let them know. And it felt like it took them too long to get over there, to take him out. Police radio audio revealed that officers had located the location of the shooter, in room 135 on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay, as early as 10:24 p.m. Minutes later, cops found a security guard in the hallway outside Paddock's room who had been shot by the suspect, and asked for backup. Paddock had shot through the door, hitting the guard in the leg. He is expected to survive. By 10:37 p.m. SWAT officers reported they were moving up to the 32nd floor to help officers, and at 10:55 p.m., an officer said he was ready to go in. But he was told to be careful and wait after he admitted the SWAT team weren't there yet, Newsweek reported. At 10:57 p.m., cops reported they had locked down the hallway and had officers ready to go in. Timeline of terror in Vegas. Country music star Jason Aldean was performing on stage at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival when lone gunman Stephen Paddock, 64, opened fire on the 22,000 people gathered. About 10 p.m., Paddock smashes out two windows on the 32nd floor with a hammer-like implement and opens fire with his arsenal of at least 19 weapons, including fully automatic weapons. 10:08 p.m., first phone call to police that shots had been fired at the festival outside the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. 10:18 p.m., officers asked the hotel to shut down the elevator so the suspect can't flee. 10:19 p.m., a team of 4 officers begin to make their way into the Mandalay Bay, moving up towards the 32nd floor. 10:21 p.m., an officer, whose location is unclear, calls over the radio, gunshot wounds to the chest and head. We need immediate medical. Another officer says police and revelers on the ground are still taking fire. 10:23 p.m., false reports come in of multiple shootings at multiple other locations. Response teams are sent out to investigate. 10:24 p.m., one of the 4 officers inside the Mandalay calls dispatch to report that they are in the stairwell on the 32nd floor and can still hear gunshots coming from room 135. Dispatch responds by calling for backup from SWAT to help prepare to bust into the suspect's room. 10:25 p.m., radio transmissions indicate Paddock may have stopped firing into the crowd at this moment. 10:28 p.m., police officers gathered at the Mandalay Bay report that Paddock has shot at a security guard in the hallway of the floor outside his room. They call for backup. 10:37 p.m., SWAT officers report they are now moving up to the 32nd floor to help the police officers. 10:38 p.m., cops say they haven't heard gunfire in about 10 minutes. Police radio transmissions reveal there is still some confusion over which floor the gunman is on, and whether there could be multiple shooters. 10:44 p.m., on the ground, Terrified festival goers begin stealing empty police cars to flee from gunfire. 10:54 p.m., officers report they've cleared many areas in the hotel and casino. 10:55 p.m., an officer said he was on floor 32 and was readying to make entry. But he warned to be careful on police radio transmissions by control, who asked, "Are you with the SWAT guy?" When the officer replied he was not, he was told to wait for them. 10:57 p.m., an officer reports they had locked down the hallway outside the gunman's room, telling dispatch they had multiple rifles and plenty of officers. But there was then a 24-minute delay while they appeared to wait for the SWAT team to arrive. 11:08 p.m., Las Vegas police confirm they have shut down a portion of the street. 11:21 p.m., SWAT teams stormed the 32nd floor room that Stephen Paddock was firing from. They gained entry using flashbangs designed to stun the shooter. Paddock fired through the door as SWAT teams were trying to breach the room. By the time they entered the room, he had shot himself dead. 72 minutes elapsed from the first 911 call to Paddock being found dead. 11:24 p.m., officer tells dispatch, "We have one suspect down." 11:28 p.m., "We have one suspect down." Multiple firearms, an officer confirmed again, adding it was definitely the suspect who was firing into the crowd. 11:32 p.m., McCarran International Airport announced it was diverting flights destined for the city. 11:34 p.m., Interstate 15 in and out of Las Vegas was shut down for a time. 11:56 p.m., hospitals in Las Vegas said that at least 2 people were dead and 24 were injured, of which 12 were critical. 12:01 m., almost 2 hours after the first emergency call, police confirmed that one suspect was down. 1:06 m., the Southern California Police Department say that one of their officers is among the injured. 1:34 m., at this point the death toll dramatic rises to 20 people injured and 100 injured. 1:54 m., police in Las Vegas says that 2 of their officers who were off duty were among the dead. 2:13 m., investigators say that they are looking for the roommate of the shooter, Mary Lou Danley, and describe her as a person of interest. 3:30 m., Las Vegas Sheriff Joseph Lombardo announces that the death toll is now at least 50 dead and 200 injured, making this the deadliest shooting in U.S. history. 6:30 m., investigators say they have located Mary Lou Danley and say that she is overseas and is not longer a person of interest. 9:30 m., Sheriff provides another update and says that the death toll is now in excess of 59 and that 527 people are injured. But there is an unexplained 24-minute delay as armed and ready officers were forced to wait outside the suspect's hotel room door. Eventually, at 11:21 p.m., SWAT teams used an explosive device to break into the gunman's room and found he had killed himself a few moments before. "Breach, breach, breach," an officer was heard yelling over police scanner radio, as they entered the room after the explosion, before another officer told dispatch, "We have one suspect down." The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department declined to comment about the delay to the DailyMail.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I'd like to thank you for all your years of support through the years. As a result, this channel has grown and allowed me an equity partnership in carmarshal.com. Please take the time to check them out. They help you buy and sell your next car, even have a negotiating tool to save you from the hassle of haggling with multiple dealers. The link is in the description below. Please click and help support and give if you can too through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks again.